The first question now.
That'll be great.
Does that work for you? Okay. So,
Yes.
what should I do if I can't come to talk with a faculty council advisor, but I want more information?
There's a couple of resources you could use. The website offers some great resources, okay? And probably a couple that I would recommend right away is go look at the voice system. All students who go through College 110 get familiar with the voice system. There's a whole lot more that you can learn about how to use it, but really that's a great resource. And that's available through the link on the web that is underneath the library, and it's under the articles and databases. That would be a good source.
So what is VOICE?
VOICE stands for Washington Occupational Information System. And it is, every year, it is amassed by 7 workers that are employed by the state. What they do is they go around and they literally do hundreds of informational interviews with people in various jobs in our state. And it will give you a profile of the jobs themselves. It will also talk about the training or the education needed to do the jobs. And then finally, it links you to what schools in the state offer the training to do.
Just what are the best resources at Pierce to get me where I want to be?
Faculty council advisors are number one.
So then it would be VOICE.
And then, yeah, VOICE is kind of the JV. I think the other, sometimes the often overlooked resource too, depending on what information the student wants, but just sometimes having casual conversations with your faculty instructors too can be great resources. And what I would suggest anybody do, regardless of if they're working formally with me or with Vicki, is to learn to get curious about not only what the person does, but how they got where they got. Oftentimes that is one of the biggest things I think most of us, everybody, is kind of, what should I say, kind of baffled, because we tend to see somebody who's up in front of the classroom, let's say, and they just seem to, that's what they've been doing all their lives. Well, the reality is no. And the reality too is they too have had kind of a series of awakenings as to where their gifts were, how they could turn that into activities or duties in the work world and get paid for it, but most importantly to me is feel some sense of fulfillment and know what that's like inside. It's what Joseph Campbell calls following their bliss, when they connect with that. And then finally too is, well then how did they get started? How did they get an opportunity to do that? And so when you're actually doing informational interviews, there's formal script for this too, but just kind of following a 3-step process in your mind of, what are some things you love about your job? What's one thing you give away? And how did you get started? Those can be 3 great questions to always ask somebody. And then a 4th one, if you're really still kind of intrigued, is then to ask them, can you think of 2 or 3 other people that do similar work that you'd suggest I talk with? And then if they say yes, then you get the contact information, and then you also get their permission to use their name when you're contacting. So, right there, that took 3 minutes for me to share that with you. And that's not, that didn't take eight hours of career counseling or anything to get there. But cultivating that curiosity, and then also the willingness just to open your mouth and ask for what you want. That's a big thing. Oftentimes that's where I spend a good amount of time with people that I've worked with for a while in career counseling, is getting to that point where they're willing to take those